Great. Well, welcome to you all. As I mentioned, we have Don Whittle here with us live from the ICF, and we're going to have some fun for the next half hour, getting all of the information that we want and all of those questions answered about the International Coach Federation. But first, I want to introduce Don. He's been with the ICF since 2008, and prior to that, he enjoyed an 18-year career in Olympic sports, including being on the United States Committee, where he supported the athletes by investing in their training to reach their potential for the Olympic Games, which is amazing. But now we're going to learn more about the work that he's doing for ICF and why that's important to you as you are considering becoming a certified coach, or if you are a certified coach already. So Don, thank you so much for being here. As I said, we'll try not to put you on the hot seat, but I know we all have lots of questions to get some clarity around this amazing organization and why it's important to us. So I'm just going to give you that big, open-ended, powerful question and let you jump right in.
Sure. Well, welcome everybody from around the world. I'm Don Whittle, longtime ICF membership director. I am currently I'm here at the headquarters in Lexington, Kentucky. A little bit about ICF. We're celebrating our 25th year in existence. We are the professional association for coaching worldwide. Roughly creeping up on about 40,000 members from just over 140 countries worldwide. We have a credentialing program that has just over 30,000 credential holders in just as many countries as the membership. Boy, we've got a board of directors. We've got a staff of, I just saw this morning, it was 68 or 70, some of whom are strategically placed around the world to support members and credential holders and stakeholders. And we're just really kind of moving through our 25th year of existence, celebrating a lot of new things that we're doing on a global scale, and nothing more important than members and our members and supporting their efforts at becoming better coaches, earning credentials, going out in the world and coaching clients. So yeah, I'll keep it right there and just pause and yeah.
I'm taking notes myself. 40,000 members worldwide. That's amazing in 25 years. So you talked about the credentialing process. And I think that's one of the questions that I hear a lot as an admissions coach is, what does that look like? What does the credentialing process look like for a coach who's looking to really upgrade their recognition?
So I will say this, and I've been here at ICF for 13 years, just over 13 years, and have seen the evolution of the credential. And when I say evolution, there were roughly maybe 2,000 credential holders when I started here, and now it's grown obviously exponentially. And just all that's gone into the credential in terms of the rigor and work from a lot of individual members and really the pioneers in the coaching movement, if you will, who've created this credential and really made it even stronger. We're at a point now where I think the credential, the ICF credential, is kind of the differentiator and the gold standard globally. And we've got a lot of studies to back that up. I won't get into any of that right now, but we really feel strongly about it. And we have 3 different credentialing levels. And the first being the ACC credential, which is the starter or associate credential, if you will, followed by the professional coaches credential, which is the PCC. And then of course, the master certified coach credential, which is the highest level that you can attain. And all of them just kind of follow a trajectory in terms of experience. I'm not sure if I used trajectory in the right sense, but it follows this path where it's all based on experience and amount of coaching hours that you've worked with clients over the years, and we do have a testing system. It's called the a coach knowledge assessment now, that we ask all of our credential holders to have to pass. And it's all based on our 11 core competencies, which is, I'm just going to divert here for a second. We have updated those, and they are going to be released, and actually, if you will, be part of a new revised coach knowledge assessment starting sometime mid next year. We haven't finalized the date on that, and it was postponed a little bit because of the current environment we're in. So that's coming. But really, so ACC, PCC, and then the MCC being the highest level, which has quite a few requirements, none bigger than the amount of coaching experience hours that you would have to accomplish, but it all follows a logical path. And we also just launched this year for the first time a digital credentialing badge, which is out there. If you look at LinkedIn and look up coaching and a lot of the posts that are going on, you can see a lot of our coach credential holders with their digital badge, which is pretty cool, and another way of kind of differentiating themselves in this marketplace. And I will say just one more thing about the credential. As I referenced before, we do a lot of studies. And one of the most recent, I know it's 3 years now, but it was the Global Consumer Awareness Study, was all about do people, what's the awareness of coaching on a global scale? And the good news is 2/3 of the world does understand our version of coaching and what we're talking about, which is great. And there was also this awareness that there is a credential out there, and that more and more, what we found is more and more businesses and end users are asking for a credential when an individual is hired as a coach. So all this bodes well for what we've been trying to do. And I'm not from the credentialing department. I've been in membership all my time here, but I have a big respecter of everything they do in credentialing and been involved in all the conversations along the way, and just really proud of the work that's been done there. So
Yeah, no, thank you for that. And we've got some questions coming in, and as I
sure.
mentioned to you before, I've got lots of questions. And one of the things that I do hear a lot is, do I need my
Mhm.
ICF credential? What, do I need to go after it? And I would you touched on it a little bit with that recognition, that added recognition that it gives people. But if someone was asking you, Don, just, as a coach, do I need my credentialing? How would you respond?
I would say yes. Credentials are a little bit more of a a real need to have now, in my estimation. And let me just use another example, and I'm going to take us out of coaching and go over to SHRM. That I'm pretty good friends with a lot of people who work at SHRM, the national office. They have 2 different credentials. And their credentialing program has exploded. And I don't think you can really be a good HR director now unless you have one of those credentials. I mean, it's like, wow, when did this happen? And it's been another evolution. And of course, we're always aspiring. And actually, let me just pause here for a second, because I get real excited about this. Our credentialing team worked with SHRM's credentialing team and another association or two's team to collaborate on best practices and what they were launching in and really learned a lot from each other. And we actually had a lot to contribute to that, which was really exciting. So I say that using Sherm as an example, but coming back to ICF, this is, I mean, coaching has arrived. We were just talking about that when I got on here. It's here. And as a profession, people are looking for, okay, have you, how can we verify that you know what you know and say you know what you know in terms of coming in here and us hiring you as a coach at this organization, for example. And I think the credential is really lent a lot of credibility to individuals who have that now. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. It's, it's a commitment to your craft. It's,
Hmm.
and it is showing the world that you've taken that extra step
Yeah.
to, verify your skills, that
No
you've
question.
had this amount of hours, professional
Yeah.
hours. So that makes perfect sense. So just a reminder to our viewers, if you've got a burning question for Dawn, you can drop it into the Q&A of the Zoom, as well as into the Facebook chat. And I see some of those questions coming in. So let's shift for a second to membership,
Hmm.
because there are, as you said, there's 40,000 members of the ICF all over the world. I would love to know, and I see we have a few questions about this too, the benefits of membership. We know it for American Express. Let's hear the benefits of membership for the ICF.
Sure. Thanks for that question. Excellent one. So really the benefits of ICF membership are none bigger than belonging to an ICF chapter. There's 145. I may be wrong on that. It's not a static number. 145 chapters in about 70 countries worldwide, all different sizes, all over the US, Canada. Um, and these are real places to go and connect with community, like-minded individuals, coaches like yourselves, and others who are interested in coaching. That piece. There's also a sizable discount on the credential by becoming a member, which is really advantageous. And then you can also be part of this, what we call the Credential Coach Finder. And that's a database, if you will, or a directory in our system, which has a quite frequent volume of people and businesses coming in looking to hire coaches. It's not really the purpose of it per se, but it's more for people to come in there and verify who this coach is and who they say they are. So that's another real benefit. And we have a lot of resources for coaches in which they can jumpstart or get their business started. We're not in that business per se of providing just a ton of tools, but we do have plenty of tools to get you started, because a lot of coaches say, I don't need that. I'm going to go out on my own, and I know how to do this, and I'm going to go figure it out on my own. But we do have a lot of information and content there for you. And I cannot stress enough professional development. We have a biannual conference next year, which is going to be virtual, and it's going to be in August. Got moved from August to October. We also have, in those other years, we have what we call business development series, tailored exactly for coaches who want to build their business and take it to the next level with a lot of subject matter experts. And we also have, we just concluded what's called Advance, which is all about the science of coaching. Just a lot of great breakthroughs there and a lot of great information. And we are big into research here. As I said, we contract out with PricewaterhouseCoopers. We have a global coaching study that was done in 2020. We have a follow-up to that on the COVID. It's called the COVID update, if you will, to see if anything has changed, because this was all surveyed from last year and produced in a study this year. I mean, we have a lot for members that can help you in your business. So community, credentialing, and certainly professional development that can add to what you're trying to accomplish
Yeah.
as a coach.
As a coach. That's great. Those are a lot of the things that people are in search of. Certainly,
Question.
the professional development, the business development, and that community is such an important part, especially when you start to think about how global the world is and being
Yeah.
able to connect with people in that same industry and learn from each
Question.
other. You've created a really dynamic network for that. So we have a question from Ellen coming in from Facebook. And that is, how many CEUs do we need to keep up training accreditation, and how do we get them?
So if you're a credential holder, the requirement is every 3 years, you have to earn 40 continuing education units, some of which can be in self-study, but 24 of which would need to come from what we call core competencies. And you can get those a lot of different places at chapter meetings and a lot of those events I referenced before. Converge, Advance, I know these are just names. Business development have a lot of those core competencies. There's just a lot of individuals as well and groups offering opportunities to get continuing education units. And as part of that, you still would need to take 3 credits of, and they're free, on a ethics course. We hold ethics near and dear here. It's one of the pillars in by which the organization stands on. Did I miss anything there? So it's 24 in core competencies, 16 in um, uh, personal development. So that's 40. And so every 3 years you're asked to do that. And there are some other requirements depending on what credential level you are. I won't get into that, but you can find that on the credentialing page under Renew Your Credential.
Yeah. Yeah, and in your website, I've been there a lot, and it's a great resource for anyone that is, curious about the credentials, what the process is. It's very well laid out. There's a lot of information in there. Um, I just curious.
Yeah.
When you're, one of the things, one of the requirements for being credentialed would be you've got your coach training hours,
Yes.
which comes from an accredited coach training program like IPEC. So what would that mean to someone looking at that ACTP? What exactly is an accredited coach training program?
Sure. So that's a designation for the most comprehensive training program that ICF recognizes and designates. Um, and IPEC is certainly one of them. And I know you guys, I've been on enough of these calls to know it is. Tell me how many units training hours it is now.
Well, we are
300, 400.
it,
It's a
it
lot.
it is up there. Yes.
It's a lot,
Yeah.
and don't want to overwhelm anybody with it, but so when we call it comprehensive, it covers everything. There's mentoring included. There's an examination process included. There's a certification component. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't want to speak out of turn here. To it, and it's the whole system. And so if you are an ACTP, an accredited training program, the path by which you can apply for any of our credentials is pretty much turnkey, other than the MCC, which has some additional requirements. But for the other ACC, PCC, it's basically turnkey. All you'd have to do is go and earn your coaching experience hours. So we're really proud of the relationship we have with IPEC. I know you guys well, and I know what you do, and you do it really, really well. Um, and I would say, you, it, all right, now can I steal just a little thunder here from IPEC?
Be my guest.
So you're coming in and you're considering a profession and you're considering, well, how much training should I take, and what should I do here in order to be this really good coach that I want to be? And I think that's a personal decision you have to make for yourself. because it is a financial outlay potentially of money. But it's like, if I really want to be all in, I want to take the entire training program. I'm not going to just piecemeal it, and I want to go and get as much training as is required for me to be able to fast track through credentialing and be a part of this organization of professional coaches, um, and take my game to the next level. And I can safely say, and I can't repeat numbers here or anything, or how well respected IPEC is, but I will say very, very impressed with everything you've done over the years, and it's a great training program. So I'll stop there.
All right. Well, we certainly weren't fishing for compliments, but
No,
we thank you so much. And certainly those, when people are looking at coach training programs, there are so many, and so I think it's great advice just to, especially for someone that wants to go that credentialing route, do the things to to allow yourself to move through that swiftly, and you will have everything that you need to then go put in your professional hours and become an accredited, a credentialed coach, I should say, a credentialed coach with the ICF. And thank you. I think someone shared, Todd maybe shared 320 hours, just so that we can put a fine point to it. 320 hours of coach training, and I believe that 160 are approved for the credentialing. So I'm just looking to see the other questions that are coming in. So I guess, John, I'm curious to know, what is, I guess, your thoughts on coaching in this next year? We've certainly seen the growth of the industry, as you shared, it is more than coming into its own as a recognized and very dynamic and effective modality. What are some things that you see on the horizon for coaching as far as trends go in the coming year?
I think it's a real exciting future ahead for next year and beyond. And I know we're in this completely different environment right now with the virus, but I see the need for coaching like it's never been, like that need's never been there before. It is such a big need for people to be coached, organizations to be coached. And I see more and more of that happening here at ICF. And I think all the trends are, it's only going to continue. The demand is only going to strengthen. And and I think there's certainly an awareness on a global basis of the power of coaching, and the ROI of coaching, that it's going to stand on its own and continue to flourish. So I think we're at a real seminal point in time in terms of this profession, and the sky's the limit. I mean, really, I'm really proud to be part of this organization, and I'm proud of all the places like, I mean, what you guys do at IPEC. I mean, you're doing fantastic work.
Yeah, yeah, and as you said, reaching more and more people, and in so many different and dynamic, different and dynamic ways. And to your point, the sky is the limit in terms of who you can reach, and the different, areas of specialization, from executive to relationship to family. There is a need out there, certainly in this world. And I think the other thing that we're seeing, especially in this, right, this weird sort of strange COVID world that we're living in right now, where you can coach anyone, anywhere in the world, through the power of technology. And certainly, we have all of our programs, all of our classes have been running remotely on Zoom like this. And where there may have been a little bit of a limiting belief around the power of coaching people in this virtual setting, I think we continue to break down the barriers of what is possible, to create that rapport, to build that connection, and to truly be able to change people's lives all over the world, using technology like this. Yeah. So exciting times ahead. And what are you thinking in terms of 2021 with you had talked about the virtual convene.
Yeah.
If
Converge,
so,
yeah,
Converge, I'm
converge,
sorry,
yeah.
Converge. So if someone were interested in getting more information about that, and getting more information about credentialing, about the ICF, what would be your advice to them? Where should they go?
So yeah, definitely come to our website, coachfederation.org, and check it out. You can go to any of the tabs, Credential, YICF. There's videos on there. Um, there's a lot of content, and I would encourage you, if you had any questions, you could contact headquarters at coachfederation.org, and we'd be more than happy to answer any of those. Yeah.
Great. And that's also where they can go to find information about becoming a member of a
Correct.
local ICF. Now, do people have to have so if there's someone right now who's in the middle of a program, a coach training program, do they need to wait to be certified to become a member
No,
of the
as long
ICF?
as you're enrolled in at least a 60-hour training program, and I know that for you guys it would be a module. I'm not sure if that's how you terminology that you're using, but yeah, as long as you're enrolled, you can join today. I mean, no question. Um, and I will say probably the trends or your this is anecdotal, but it's based on a lot of data that I've looked at over the last year. You know, more and more people are coming from training programs that are accredited without question. And it's really impressive in terms of what's going on and the levels they're going to and what they're talking about as they come in. And I'll ask them, why did you join ICF? And there's some unbelievable stories. I mean, from all over the world. And no one is, I mean, some of them will just be a one-liner. I'm here for the credential. I'm here for this or that. But some of them go on, and it is powerful. It really is about this awakening, if you will, and this, trying to really, make the world a better place. Getting
Yeah.
emotional about it. I mean, it's a big deal. There's no
Yeah.
question.
Yeah, I love that. Well, that shows your passion and your commitment to this
Yeah.
industry that we're grateful for. And I do see one other question that came in, and I
Yeah.
bet this is one that resonates with a lot of people because, as we were talking about, there are so many different niche and specialties for coaching. So Susan asks, she's an IPEC grad, an alum, and also a certified cancer coach. So she's curious to know if having an ICF credential would be important for her career. Again, very niche specialty area, but I imagine, as I said, so many people wondering, do I need that credentialing for my particular area of specialization?
Yeah, I'd say yes. I mean, it is such a differentiator, and people know what the credential. I mean, more and more people are becoming familiar with coaching. They know about ICF. They know we have credentials. It is just, I think it's really important, and it can only add to your credibility as a coach.
Yeah. Yeah. So at the end of the day, it's really, as we said, it's credibility. It's showing that desire to continue building the mastery around your craft and a commitment to continuing education. There's also amazing community, which I think so many of us thrive on and seek out, and opportunities for dynamic content recognition, coaching resources. So there are so many opportunities through the ICF for the credentialing and membership. Become 40,001. You can be that next member. Don, I want to thank you so much. We're
Yeah.
going to make sure that we include information and a link to the ICF within the comments. If you are watching this and you are curious at all about becoming a coach, that's where iPEC's admissions coaches come in handy. We would look forward to connecting with you. We will also include a link on how you can get connected to one of us. Don, we want to wish you the best in the coming holiday season and the new year, and we look forward to connecting with you again. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you to
Thank
everyone
you.
that joined us today and shared your thoughts and your questions. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.